We're live.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Voices from the Mausoleum. We are doing another live. This time it's slightly themed, and my friend Radar is back talking holiday themed horror, which is like our thing, it seems like.
That is. We do a lot of that, I feel. That's the best kind of horror.
It is, especially like because almost none of it is serious.
Yeah, no, that would be so hard. One, it's hard, I feel like, to do a good holiday themed sort of horror thing, but to do
Yeah.
like a serious one, I feel is impossible.
And I don't know that it would, yeah. And why would you want to? Because you can do so many
Yeah,
like not serious things and make it super fun.
exactly.
Yeah, so I've talked about, I've read some of one of your books on
Yeah.
the podcast. We've talked a little bit about what you do, but for people who are not familiar, I'm just moving my cat, don't mind me. I'm going to probably be doing that the whole time. So he doesn't disconnect me. But go ahead and let's talk. I want to talk a little bit about, who you are, what you do, and your books.
Right. So I'm DeBoard. I'm a business analyst by day, but I am a horror writer by night. And so far, I've been published like on a bunch of different like sort of e-magazines. So like Horror Trees one, Siren's Call is another one. Those are both free to go take a look at, and I recommend if you like any kind of horror, everyone just go check those out because they're fantastic sites. With a lot of great content, and they're just helping out the horror community. But if you're looking to help support me and purchase stuff, I do have 4 books of mine that are actually out on Amazon right now.
Yeah.
Here's one of them, physical. This is the first one I wrote, The Altar from Space, which you've read some from. And the best I can describe it as is like if people like playing Dead Space, the video game, or Event Horizon, it's like either of those. Most people, when I bring up that as the suggestion to like compare it to, they're like, I've never played either of this. So, but I'm hoping there's some people who have played or watched either
or at least at least have heard of it. Because I mean,
right.
It's been all over that they're, the redo for Dead Space and
like the remake.
Hear about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have a physical copy also of the sequel to that one, As the Artifact Stirs. So that's the second one. And then the other 2 books are also in like a trilogy. I haven't written the third one for the other 2 yet, but that's Summoned Beasts is that trilogy. So each one of those is about a different kind of monster that's just terrorizing people. The first one is a gargoyle that gets loose in a state park, like a killer gargoyle. So it's just ripping people apart. And then the second one is like sea creatures on a freighter, just wreaking havoc. So, and those 4 books. They're up on Amazon, and there's a bunch of other stuff I've been into, anthologies and everything. So if you like cosmic horror, you like absolutely stupid creature stuff and B horror, I do mostly that.
Mostly that. That fits, doesn't it? I guess with like.
Yeah, well,
Well, and all of the links for his stuff is going to be in the description for the episode. So you'll be able to go follow him and check out his author page on Amazon as well.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, in the description. So yeah, so today, Friday, is St. Patrick's Day. And because we do tend to talk, holiday horror, it seemed appropriate to talk St. Patrick's Day horror, which led down this exhilarating rabbit hole of the Leprechaun franchise.
Exhilarating. That's the word.
That's a good word, don't you think? Exhilarating.
It's a good word.
And so I know for a fact I have not seen all of them. I have not seen all of the Leprechaun franchise. I have seen quite a few. How many have you seen? Have you seen them all or just some of them?
I have seen like the first 5. And then the 2018 one, like the new one?
I have not seen that one.
And I guess there was.
I don't think I knew there was one that new. What? 2018?
That's right. Yeah, like that same year that they did the Halloween 2018 movie, they were like, all right, let's do Leprechaun also. But it was like a sci-fi movie, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen. Okay, yeah,
specifically.
I don't know anything about that one. Then, yeah.
Yeah. Like not sci-fi. Like the Sci-Fi Channel did a Leprechaun movie, so it's not like all of a sudden they're like we've genetically engineered a leprechaun or something like that.
I mean, everything goes to space eventually, right? Like
Well,
eventually.
yeah. Oh my goodness, and that one's a doozy. That's one of the ones you've seen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That one's so dope.
Okay, so I don't even know where to really begin with it. So I guess so I remember being a kid and seeing I'm pretty sure the first one ever, the very first one.
Uh-huh.
That's the one with Jennifer Aniston, right? If I'm remembering, that's the first
Yes.
one. Okay. So I remember seeing the first one as a small kid, and it actually was very scary as a child.
Right.
Which is completely obviously different than watching it as an adult because it's very silly and kind of dumb as an adult. But I think like watching it as a kid, it was scary. And then I remember I used to have these like super vivid nightmares about this. And I remember one of them was Bill Clinton. This is in the dream. Bill Clinton was on the TV and he was announcing to everyone that like, you know, there was this creature that's like coming and terrorizing and killing people. And I go outside of my house in the dream and he's coming down my street. And in the dream, I'm like, oh my God, like so scared. I'm a kid.
Oh
I was pretty young. And I remember it being just like crazy scary. And then, of course, the next one that I actually saw after that was In the Hood.
Oh, yes.
When I was much older. So to jump from the first to that one was kind of crazy. But I remember legitimately being scared of it when I was little.
Little gap.
Just a little gap.
I was gonna say I can't remember the first. I think it was AMC used to do like the American Movie Channel, right? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
AMC used to do like Monster Fest every October.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just one of those years they happened to play some Leprechaun movies because I guess it's whatever AMC had money to get, and I'm sure it wasn't too pricey to get the Leprechaun movies. I'm sure it wasn't.
Probably, I'm gonna go with no for that. Probably not.
Yeah, and I remember I forgot which one it was. It probably was the first one because I feel like AMC would be like, you know what? We probably won't go for the other ones.
They do get worse content-wise. Like the language, nudity, like all of that gets worse as they kind of. So probably good point.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess the first one's pretty tame in comparison, really, to the other ones.
It really is.
So,
yes, it really is.
So I'm pretty sure it was the first one that I watched and was like, ooh, okay. I was kind of like, it was like, oh, that leprechaun's kind of creepy. But by that point, I had seen like a lot of other horror, and I was just like, it's creepy, but there's other stuff that's creepier.
Sure. Yeah. I think some of that stuff loses its magic when you're not a kid. Like being afraid of small things in horror, as you get older, they're not scary. Like Chucky was scary when I was a kid, but as an adult, I'm not like afraid of Chucky. Chucky does not scare me, you know, not like he did when I was little. So there's something about like the height difference. I don't know. But like when they're little and you're little, they're scary. But when you're big and they're still little, it's like, eh.
And it's kind of like as a kid, you're scared of like, oh, you know, like because the leprechaun and Chucky, they could hide under a bed easy.
Sure.
And that's like, as a kid, you're like, oh shit, that's the one place I don't want stuff to be.
That's a good point.
It's under that bed.
That's a good point. You're right. They get into the spaces that you're already afraid of as a child. That's so true. I didn't even think about it that way. Because I mean, and I remember, so I think I saw, and I don't know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember the order because it's been a while since I've seen them, you know, enough to really remember as far as like order. Yeah. But the one with the guy that dies with the face in the fan because he thinks he's looking at his naked girlfriend and his face goes into that thing. I remember like I laughed. That's like probably one of my favorite, like over the top, stupid, silly kills, you know? And I'm thinking like, these are they're not scary. They lost scary like a long time ago, and then they just became these like over the top silly movies.
That is also in the second one, so it didn't take long. It did not take long for them to go like, all right, whatever, just abandon it. Let's not be serious, whatever.
It's bad, yeah. And then like the whole thing about like the shoes. Like that,
Oh yeah.
that's so ridiculous. And like I don't know. Like, and I've watched the first one again as an adult, and it was just like, and it's still, as far as the franchise, for the ones that I've seen, it's still definitely the more serious, but it is hard to take it serious as an
Right.
adult, because you're just kind of like,
I don't know if I don't know if that's like lore that leprechauns like have to shine shoes or something.
the shoe thing I
Is
think
it?
is tied to lore.
Okay,
Yes.
it is tied to lore, but still, like, out of all the lore, why the hell would you include that? They're like going, they like had some researchers put some stuff together. They're like going down the list, and they're like, "Oh fuck yeah, we got to include that he shines shoes."
Hey, what's up, Norin? Leprechaun 3 taking Vegas easy. That's in my opinion.
That as I did my rewatching, it's up there near the top for
It
sure.
is a really good one. Yeah. I still think so. My favorite is definitely In the Hood. That is my favorite one. As far as like one that I just enjoyed, I thought was really stupid and fun. That's definitely my favorite. Do you have a favorite?
It's probably In the Hood also,
Yeah.
because it is stupid, but like I feel like it's the only one where I'm like I can kind of get behind the characters.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Like because all the other ones like the leads are just boring, or like there's no real personality to them, or
Yeah, they're
just think
pretty
they're annoying.
mundane. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and like
Carolyn Williams' death scene is epic. Oh, yeah.
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 I was gonna say, because like Jennifer Aniston, that's her first, like, I think, movie role, and
Yeah. No,
it
I think you're right.
shows. No offense to Jennifer Aniston, I'm sure she would agree, but it's not her best work.
Yeah, and I think, like, what I always thought was dumb? I remember thinking this even when I was pretty young and I saw it. You know how, like, when they come into the house, like towards the beginning of the movie, and they make the noise when they come in the house, and he just like suddenly wakes up. Like he's literally like he's like all curled up or whatever, and he just like he's laying there, and then he just like opens his eyes. Like all it took was for them to stomp on the floor above his head, and suddenly he's like awake
Right.
after however long. He's like,
I'm ready. It's go time.
so
He's like, I'm gonna wait here for a little bit.
It's so dumb. But I think it is fun, and I like, and so comedy horrors are like a weird thing for me, as far as the ones that are really meant to be serious but have like comedic elements. Like Cabin in the Woods is one. We just watched, Norn and I just did a review on Satanic Panic, which is another one. Yeah, that's like a horror comedy. So I think like there's some that balance it really well, but the ones to me that have to do with like creatures, like mythological made up stuff, sharks, like they don't really have to have a whole lot for me to be willing to watch them. And that makes them like fun because it's like a mindless watch, like you can just watch the Leprechaun movies or whatever, and there's no like commitment to anything. You're not invested in anyone. You're just like, oh, these people are gonna die. Let's see how creative they can be in this one,
Right. And that's like the best part too, I would feel, of the Leprechaun franchise, is the kills. Which,
oh yes,
and it's interesting because Leprechaun is just like Puppet Master in the fact that the first one kind of sucks. Yeah. It's not the best one, and it's just they didn't know what they were doing yet. They didn't have the formula down.
Yeah.
And like in the first one, like there's only 3 or 4 kills, and like the only cool one is the pogo stick kill.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where he like just bounces on that dude's chest with the pogo stick. What a way to die.
Yeah, that's I think because they spend a lot of the movie like getting to the part where they realize that the leprechaun is like a thing. And then there's like a lot of really awkward chase scenes in the first one too.
Yeah, like he gets beat up a lot in the first one. Like they just slap him around, and it's like, this is not intimidating.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of goes back to what I was saying about the size thing. It's like when you're grown up and you have like weapons or things at your like disposal, like something like that's not going to be bothersome.
Right. Or you could figure out like how I beat this,
Yeah.
Because what is it? A clover? That's what they get him with in the first one. They get
Yeah.
him with the clover. The four-leaf clover.
It's so cheesy, cliche. Like the time, like you said about the shoes, like the things they choose to like tie in. You're like,
Right.
what the? I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I think, I do think it's like, I don't even know how many there are. Do you?
Jeez. There's at least 6.
I think, yeah,
At least
something
6.
maybe under 10. I didn't know there was a 2018 one.
So that would probably make it 7. And then I know there was. This is going to be crazy because I did some research. There's a 2014 one also that's like called Leprechaun, but everyone hates it because like they made the Leprechaun like just a regular creepy looking monster.
Ooh. Leprechaun in space is freaking wild. Warwick Davis wielding a lightsaber. We just talked about this space one, about how it always goes. Everything goes to space eventually.
Everything goes to space, and that one has the most ridiculous kill too. The space one is where the Leprechaun materializes out of that dude's penis.
Oh my god!
He comes out of it.
I totally forgot about that. Or maybe I was trying to block it out.
I'm sorry. I brought that repressed memory to the forefront.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. Yes. I feel like that's what happens with most of these things though. When you put it in space, it has to be just like ridiculous.
Astronomically ridiculous. And that, and like
there's 8. He says there's 8 films.
Oh, there's 8 films. Okay. Norin's on his stuff. Norin knows the Leprechaun franchise.
I know.
What's going on here?
But, he does. I'm impressed. I don't know that much about the Leprechaun. I know enough that I've seen quite a few of the movies, and I think they're fun, and I know enough to do a live about them. But I don't know enough like that.
I was gonna say I'm not an in-depth sort of fan of them, but oh man, but those kills, and like there's like a Nazi in the space one too.
Yeah,
it's like I mean, they'd all but say he's a Nazi, but come on.
Right. No, yeah. I remember. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I forgot about the Leprechaun manifesting out of
that's a doozy. And
now I'm gonna have adult nightmares about
I was gonna say that's because in the part where he like, because he's like, he gets exploded, and then he's like, I know how I'll hide here, because like the dude, he pees on his ashes, and he like goes and like materializes up in there. It reminds me of that fish that does that.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? One that it's like, that goes up and
anyways, but that's what it reminded me of, and I'm like, oh no, that could happen. I was
like, wait, what fish?
Like the real life fish that swims up urethras.
So that, like, you don't want to pee in that water, because then
that's the moral of the story. Don't pee on leprechaun bodies, everyone. Take that to heart.
I really do hope for my own sanity that my son is actually asleep, because we're in the process of building a leprechaun trap for school. And if he hears that,
oh geez, he's like, oh no.
Yeah, I haven't. I should go back and watch more of them. I know I haven't seen all of them. Like I said, I didn't know there was a 2018 one.
Right.
So I know for sure I've seen 1 and 2. I've seen The Space, and I've seen In the Hood. For sure, I know I've seen those 4.
Well, have you seen the Vegas one?
Oh, in Vegas. In Vegas.
Okay, so that's the third one.
Okay, that's 3. Okay, so I've seen 5 of the 8.
That's pretty solid, though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was like, because I've been trying to get someone to watch it with.
Yeah.
Which didn't happen, but to watch a series with. But I'm like, hey, if I'm doing a live stream with Angel, I'll just suggest the Leprechaun, and then I can watch it myself. And I was like, it's brilliant, because I'm trying to figure out like why all these other series get talked about and Leprechaun doesn't. And then I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is why. This is the reason.
This is why no one talks about it.
Oops.
We talked about this. I talked about this with JR in Monday Musings. The Leprechaun was his least favorite horror villain.
I mean, that's kind of
He
fair.
hates him. Like, but like he was like angry about it.
He's
like,
angry about it.
legitimately fucking hates him. Like, he was so mad talking about it. He was just like staring at the camera, shaking his head. He was so mad. It was like he felt very personally like bothered by
the leprechaun
as like a horror villain. But I think it's just all in good fun. I mean, it's hard to imagine. I mean, obviously, I don't know what they were thinking. I haven't looked this much into it, but
Right.
I don't know if the intention from the first film was for it to be kind of serious, because it does kind of feel that way. And then it's almost like
Right.
they just kind of adapted to what people were kind of getting out of the experience.
Right. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, there's some parts in the first one, like that opening scene,
Mhm.
that there's some parts that's I could get that that's creepy. This is kind of creepy, you know.
Yeah.
Like they let him up to be kind of a formidable foe.
Mhm.
It quickly goes out the window, but you know, but I mean they have elements of it, and then they're like, nah. In the very next one, they're like, all right, how is this guy gonna die? He's gonna think he's motorboating his girlfriend, but it's just a giant motorboat.
Best kill.
Best
and
kill.
you know what the creepiest part about that is? The leprechaun watching from the other side of those shelves or whatever it is, that he's like behind in the garage, and he's just like making
it's so weird.
Just like, what the fuck? Awful. Absolutely awful.
I looked up the budgets for like the first like 5 or 6.
Okay.
And obviously none of them are above 2 million, which
Sure.
I was honestly just baffled by, because that means $2 million, that's their budget. That means that Warwick Davis in each of these films did not get paid anything close to $1 million, which is just crazy.
Maybe it was a passion project. I don't know.
I mean, he went to like 6 of them. It's gotta be a passion project.
Or just maybe something. Yeah, I didn't know the budgeting either. That seems like.
Yeah. Wait, and they have Ice-T in the hood too.
Yes.
So they have 2 like legitimate actors in one of those films.
Well known, yeah.
And they're both, I guess they were both like, yeah, I'll do it for 10,000 or something. They're like, I want it to be that Ice-T was like, do you have a 6-pack? I'll be in the movie for a 6-pack.
I'll do it for that.
I'll do it for that. He's just like, I'm a big fan of Warwick Davis in the Leprechaun series. Of course, I'll do it for free.
I had to imagine though, like, I bet they were really fun to make though, because they are so like over the top and silly, and I think that like they were probably a lot of fun to participate in.
Oh, I bet that's probably one of the highlights too, is that Warwick Davis does a great job, but you can tell he's like having a good time.
Yes, agreed. And it's not in a taking it serious kind of way per se. It's just like, this is fun, so I'm going to get into it. It's like it's like a you know, like a cosplay almost. Like you just you know,
it's I get to go around just popping out and pretending to be creepy and being weird while also doing limericks. Sure. Like his little dumb.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. I think like most, I know there are a few, you know, like a holiday horror type things that we've talked about that are a little more serious or can be more serious. But this one is just kind of embraces the tackiness of it all and makes it like, I can't believe I'm sitting here thinking like 8 movies.
8?
That's a lot.
Movies. Yeah, that's a good amount of movies. Like, I feel like there wasn't too much of a clamoring after 2, but they kept going. And
these would have been like what back then? It would have been like straight to video kind of things. Like you go get it from like a Blockbuster or whatever, and you see, you know, again, like how creative the kills could be, how silly it was going to be.
Right, which it's the third one and the fourth one have like some of the most creative. Well, I guess the fourth one just has the penis one, but the third one has some pretty creative kills in it.
Yeah.
Like what there's the one girl, that there was a comment that we just had on it a little bit ago from his name's I'm blanking on his name. Norin. Yeah, Norin talked about her how like basically her like she's like she's got like plastic surgery or something. She like wishes to have
yeah.
And like she just starts the leprechaun's like, oh yeah, but bigger isn't always better or something like that. And she just keeps
and then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, until she blows up. And then one of the like I forget what he is. I always like the casino owner. He like I don't know what happens, how it occurs. I can't quite remember, but he ends up with a sex robot on top of him.
And it explodes, right?
Yeah, like kills him. And it's like, well, you don't see that in any other horror film.
That's true. Snorin says he got his wife to binge them with him last year in March.
See? Dang, Norin. See, I wish I could get my fiance to watch them, but that's all right.
I'm with your fiance on that one. Like I will watch stuff for content all day long, but like if like somebody random just came up to me and was like, "Hey," like if my best friend was like, "Hey, let's watch all the Leprechaun movies," I would be like, "No, you know what? I'm not doing that." There are literally I have list of recommendations of other shit we can watch. Leprechaun Returns from 2018. I highly recommend. It's kind of like a soft reboot. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, it's like it's super like the kills are pretty damn good. Like they're pretty bloody.
I haven't seen that. I wonder if it's streaming somewhere.
I don't know. I was gonna say again, it's like the Sci-Fi Channel did it, so I imagine somewhere.
Leprechaun Returns. Yeah, I would think it's probably and I think like I can't believe I did not know that was even a thing.
Wow.
Oh, the cover art.
Oh, is it?
Uh-oh. You have to rent it unless you have the bougie YouTube TV or Hulu or Sling.
Oh,
but yeah.
Okay, well that's not the best cover, but I swear it's solid.
He's got a gold coin in his hand.
He's always after
his curious. Coin. I'm curious. I will probably have to check that one out. If for no other reason than because I didn't know it existed in 2018 wasn't that long ago.
Right.
I'm intrigued.
I will say that the one bit of lore that they keep consistent that I'm like, yeah, that's fun. Keep that in there is that he's protecting his gold. That makes sense.
That they are consistent with that part. Yes.
It's like, great. I mean, I wish it wasn't his only motivator, but that's all right.
Yeah. And the modern time, like in modern times, in a modern setting, that it's just kind of, they stick with it consistently because it's like there, I don't know what else there could really even be.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, maybe like you could have it be like his home got destroyed or something. Make it more ecological. He can avenge
some other leprechauns.
Yeah, there you go. His leprechaun brothers and sisters.
Leprechaun Wick, part 17.
They killed his lepra dog. And he's got his lep dog. You got to go out for revenge.
Oh my God. I think it's a fun franchise. I'll have to visit the 2018 one because I genuinely had no idea.
I was gonna say the 2018 one is the only kind of one that, and this is how I describe the first 6. It feels like they all have the same feel, where it's like the neighborhood kids are like, we're gonna build a super cool skate ramp or like a tree house, and they somehow like con their parents into giving them some money, and they start building it, and they're like, we got all these cool ideas, and they're like halfway through it, and they go, oh shit, we clearly do not have enough money to finish this. And they're like, we're just going to use a lot of cardboard and duct tape. We're halfway through. We got to finish it.
Oh, God.
And that's what it feels like for 6 straight movies. Is they're like, we've got all these cool ideas. And they're like, oh, shit, that's right. This is a direct-to-TV movie. We can't do all of that.
That's a good point.
We got to finish this somehow.
I think maybe that'll be like a weekend watch since Friday is St. Patrick's Day. Maybe like Friday, I'll try to find that. I'll go crazy and pay the $4 to watch Returns, and then I'll message Norrin angrily when it's awful and I paid $5 for it. I'm just kidding.
Angel is splurging for St. Patty's Day, y'all. She's going all out there.
There is a lovely homage to Evil Dead 2 in Leprechaun Returns.
I do not remember that, but oh, you know what? I know what he's talking about now. I think, yeah, I remember what he's talking about now.
Okay.
Wait, is that it? I don't know.
We will discuss after this week. I'll have to message and tell you because I haven't watched a Leprechaun movie in at least the last 5 years. So it'll be interesting to see. I just didn't have time to watch any before we talked, and I remember enough. I remember enough. I think you may have suffered, a little more than I had to, but
I feel like I went overboard on the research for it. And like
I know every time I saw you posting on Twitter about watching them, I was like, ooh. He's gonna hate me.
I was like, at least I won't be suffering alone. At least I know Angel's watching him, and then bam, you deliver.
I didn't have time to watch any of them. Did I watch? No, I didn't watch any of them.
Oh.
Well, my plan was to watch them throughout the week last week, but then I was like super sick, and it just kind of like effed up my whole plans.
Yeah, fair enough. I took several bullets for the team.
I wanted to suffer with you, is what I'm saying. I was suffering like for real, and therefore I couldn't make it happen with the other. But
I was just mentally suffering, not physically.
That's right. Totally different type of suffrage. Yes.
And I wish there would be more kills in them too. Like, granted, they start to ramp up the kills as the series goes along, but the first couple, it's like, come on.
There's not much. Like, and they take a long time and a lot of like in between stuff to get to them.
Yeah, which just kind of is a bummer. But again, I get it. You have, and sometimes they do like a lot of the off-screen kills, which is like, no, come on.
That's why we're watching it, is to see that.
Yeah, there's like,
I know what you mean.
I think it's in the Hood where it's like some dudes, I forget what it is. Some dude's like driving and stuff, and he's like, he gets seduced by one of Leprechaun's lady minions, and he's like, and then it's such a weird scene because like you're clearly like, all right, he's gonna die, and then it like cuts to off screen. And like he screams, and like Leprechaun's hiding in the trunk of his car, I guess, going like, like, what are you doing?
Lady minions. Oh my God.
It's like, how did he, I mean, I know he's magical, but what is he doing in the trunk of this dude's car?
He does show up. That's what I'm saying. Like some of these scenes, the things that are like the most unsettling is his placement in the scenes. Like wherever he's like hiding and watching like a weirdo, like that's the part that's creepy. Like, what are you doing?
Well, stop. You are clearly more powerful than these people. Like you can watch them like at a regular distance dying.
At a regular distance. Not the creepy distances that you're keeping or the like, and he's never actually hidden, right? He's always just like behind something where you can totally see him. Like It's never completely like you don't know he's there.
Yeah, it's like it's the meme of the guy like going like as he's peeking out from behind the tree, and that's just him. And like half the kills in this franchise,
it is.
It's just
I guess because there's other things happening, and you're trying to maybe tie it into the Leprechaun. Like, what else do you do? But it's like he's just a weirdo watcher. Like he just like watches from a distance as these horrible things, and then it's always too like the noises he makes or the facial expressions that he makes. It's like it's weird.
It's such a weird thing.
It is very weird. I totally agree. I think I'll have to check. I'll watch 2018 because I am curious because I hadn't seen it. So I get that's somebody different though, right?
Yeah, it's not Warwick Davis.
It's somebody else.
Know who it is. I can't remember what the actor's name is, but yeah, it's
Definitely
someone else.
Different.
but it's not like they do a bad job, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he looked similar on the cover that I saw. Like he looked similar enough anyway.
Similar enough. Like
Similar enough.
I was gonna say it, but it's definitely more gory than the like they upped it quite a bit.
I wonder if they had a bigger budget.
I mean, I guess I don't know, but at the same time, you know,
God,
it's
maybe they just got more creative.
yeah, maybe they know how to use it better than
Yeah.
they have. I was gonna say because if we look it up and the budget's like 3 million, I would say adjust that bad boy for inflation and tell us where we're really at here.
Lyndon, I assume that's who's playing the Leprechaun. Is that what you mean? Also, hi Curtis.
All right.
Lyndon.
Angel, why are there so many of like your viewers know so much about the Leprechaun series? What's going on here?
To be fair, we've been talking about it long enough. He could have Googled it.
Maybe yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Although he probably really did just genuinely know that. Oh, he Googled.
Oh yeah, okay. I was about to say there are dozens of.
We were about to totally judge you and put you in a category of people with Norin about how much you know about the Leprechaun.
There are dozens, I say.
Oh God!
There you go. Dozens of Leprechaun fans, and they are all watching this live stream.
Dozens. Leprechaun is the shit. What's your favorite one, Curtis? Of the 8 that exist.
Of the 8 leprechauns.
Oh my God. What are the odds? That is strange. Leprechaun is highly underrated. I would honestly watch these over Saw films anyway. Hey.
Oh, Norin, come on, bro.
I just picked up the VHS screener for the first one last week. That's odd timing.
Space. in all caps.
Yeah.
Space. Like
hey, what's up,
hey,
Rick?
It's Ricky.
Rick from Horror Fiend TV. What's up? Yeah, space, definitely space.
It reminds me of that. What is that game? Red Dawn 3 or something like that. It's like the infamous one where Tim Curry like
respect. You never thought you'd see that in
There you go. There you go.
What is it? What were you?
But it's like Red Control 3 or something. It's like back when video games had like actors who like would show up, you know, and live act on them, and it's like a famous thing where Tim Curry like plays like a Russian dictator or something.
Oh wow.
And he's like, you may have stopped me, comrade, but I won't give you the satisfaction of actually catching me. And he's like,
oh yeah.
He's like, I'm going to the one place where capitalism hasn't corrupted anything, and he goes, space. Like he can't. He's clearly cracking up. That's Curtis's comment. Reminds me, space.
Although a young Jennifer Aniston in a cheesy horror flick was great. Was it? But we were talking about this. Was it meant to be cheesy, or did it just come out cheesy? Was it meant to be like a seriously creepy horror movie, and it just didn't end up that way? Like, because sometimes that happens with franchises. They go in this realm of cheesy that they didn't necessarily mean to, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's what happened with, I feel like, Puppet Master for the most part. You know, is it started
There's
out
like 30 of those. Norin is actually working through those on his channel.
Oh, shoot.
I don't know which one. I can't remember which one he's on. 3 or 4. Norin, if you're still there, tell me which one you're on. But I know I watched his first 2, the 1 and 2. Okay. Those get wild though, because it also adds in the other oh my God, what are they called? The other dolls, the Nazis. No,
oh no. Okay.
Well, yes, but the demon dolls or something like that. It ends up being a merging of these 2 separate things or whatever.
I don't know. Toys.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. I don't know, but the cheese was magical nonetheless. I mean, it's clearly was meant to be funny based on his sense of humor. I don't know. I thought it was scary when I first saw it as a child, but as an adult, it probably wasn't very scary to many people. Yeah. I'm on the 5th one next, but I did watch all 14.
Oh my!
I forgot there was that many. I knew there was a bunch. Norin, how do you have? I wish I had. Like, I can't even make time to watch like anything. Demonic Toys is amazing too. Yes, demonic. Those are super fun. I have seen, I don't know for sure if I've seen all 14, but I know I have seen really close to all 14 of anything related to Puppet Master. I love that franchise.
Man, that's so many movies, which it honestly makes the Leprechaun all 8 not seem as bad.
You're right. I
When
do
you
feel a little better about it.
stack it up. I've ran the figures. 14 is more than 8. I think I feel good now.
Did you watch? Yes, I've seen that one. That's a recent one. I just, or not a recent one, but I just watched that. I don't know. It's been in the last year or so. Tasha and I covered Puppet Master like last summer, maybe a little bit before. And around that time was when I started going back and watching all of the ones that connected. That one is ridiculous. Agreed.
Baby oopsie, I don't even know about that.
You gotta expand your if you will suffer through these Leprechaun movies, you definitely
that's fair.
put yourself through it for Puppet Master. Puppet Master was a really good example though. Because the first one, I know I heard what you said earlier and all, but like I actually like the first one. Okay, I think it's fine.
I mean, it's
but
fine,
they get better, like you said though. They get better as they kind of embrace what it is. They kind of I don't know, like they actually take things and make them like cohesive. Like I don't know, it doesn't seem as like scatterbrained maybe.
Yeah,
Puppet Master, the Little Righteous, Freaky Crazy Kill That's one of my favorites.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because I mean, like in the first one, I feel like they just didn't realize that people are coming for the puppets, baby. You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why.
In case you didn't know, Tubi has an entire section devoted to Full Moon Pictures.
Oh, there you go.
I did not know that. I love Tubi. Tubi is also where I go for all like found footage stuff. That's like the place to go for that. I didn't know that though. Full Moon Pictures on Tubi.
Full Moon Pictures. Pow. Where would you? Okay, I know you haven't seen all of them, but if you were going to give it a series average for the Leprechaun movies, series average, what would you give it? And watch out, we have
I'm
all
not
their
prepared
fans
for this question. Okay. Of the ones I have seen, because I think I've only seen 5 of the 8.
Right, but that's over half.
That is over half. Out of 10?
Yeah, 1 out of 10.
Oh my God. I don't know. That's hard. I think if I were to rate them on entertainment value and like silliness, I'd probably rate it maybe like a 6. But if I were to rate it like I rate normal horror movies, it would only be like a 3 or a 4.
Ooh, see, you're...
Shut up, Curtis.
12 out of 10. See, Curtis is almost on point with exactly how I would rate it. If he just took the 12 and subtracted 10 from it, that's what I would rate it.
As an average for the franchise.
As an average, give you 2.
Ouch.
No, but on entertainment value, after you get past like the first 2, it does get really entertaining. So I would have it at like a 7, because I will admit while I was watching it, I was like, why is this happening? Haters.
I think there's so few movies that we agree on, like Curtis and I think one of the ones that surprised me the most was Barbarian.
Oh,
I was like I watched it. He had just finished watching it, and he called me to see if I was finished watching it, and I wasn't yet. And we had like this whole discussion about it. It was like one of few that we like completely agree on. Silly horror is one of
True.
Disagree. Totally disagree. In fact, it was hard for me because like found footage is finally like people are finally giving it the recognition it deserves. And the last 2 bigger found footage, well, I guess not the last, but the 2 that came out that brought people into talking about it more were funny. And I was like, no more of that. Like, I don't want any more of that. Easy 7 average for me out of 10.
Okay, there you go. See, Norin, I can get behind that. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's within the bounds of 1 to 10. That is
not a fan.
Not a fan.
Hi, Steve. Yeah. Not a fan of silly horror. Me either.
Which, speaking of, most of the time, we're kind of on point with our opinions on horror movies.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked since you rewatched Hereditary, and I know it's kind of off topic, but
Yeah.
do you love it now? I don't want that. I don't. Tell me the truth.
So love is strong, but
No.
but and Steve's a fan of Hereditary, so I'm sure he'll probably appreciate this. So originally my rating for Hereditary out of 10 was like a 2 or 3. Like I hated it,
Okay.
right?
Right.
I rewatched it not that long ago. Hold on.
Yes, okay. Curtis, never mind. You're all right in my book.
Listen, I know. Just be quiet, Curtis. I say that as I have control over showing the comments. Anyway, so yes, I hate A24. We have like a very weird, complicated relationship, A24 and I. But I rewatched Hereditary, and my score went from a 2 or 3 to a 7.
Oh, no. You're killing me, Angel. Come on.
I know, but it was so much better the second time I watched it. There's still parts that I think are really stupid. And I don't think it's as like woke as everyone wants it to be by any stretch of the imagination. But it was better the second time. And because I'd only seen it the one time, when I talked about how much I hated it or whatever. Hereditary is a 9 out of 10. Fantastic. Radar's like, I'm out. Good night.
All right. The live stream's over.
Fantastic atmosphere and some of the best acting in a long time. And you know what I will say, and this is true, even when I was hating on it, there's no denying Toni Collette's skill as an actress. I think she's phenomenal, but it took a second watch for me to appreciate anybody else, because I always thought she was fantastic. I love her. I love her even not in horror. Like I've seen plenty of her movies that are not.
Right.
The story is Paranormal Activity without the excitement of film. Oh my God, you're right. You just super oversimplified that.
Wow, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I will admit the acting in it was really good, but
Curtis, you're fucking right. I hate it, but you're right.
I just can't. Nothing happens in it. I can't get into it.
Well, you know what I think was its biggest flaw? And I understand, like, everyone wants to explain why it was set up like this. Okay, fine. Like, I understand it. Yeah. I get it. But they did all of that crazy in that one scene really early in the film. So everything after that just felt like really mediocre.
Right.
And then you get the ending, but I don't know. I don't think it's everything everybody makes it out to be.
No. And I'm
not coasting that, Curtis. Can you see them? Can you see the chat?
Oh no, what? Oh, is it
if you
comments?
Click on the comments thing,
oh my
it'll
goodness.
show you all the
Oh, Curtis. Oh my Lord. There might be children on this live stream. There's probably not, but
there's probably not.
Oh man, I do have a love-hate relationship with A24 though.
I do too. So since you brought up A24, this is your fault. What of their films have you liked?
Was Midsummer theirs? Yep. Did they do that? Okay, I did like that one a lot.
The same person that did Hereditary.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what they were doing. Well, you know what? Yeah. Maybe they should just be that good all the time, because I actually really liked Midsummer.
Okay.
Like I honestly really enjoy it, like the practical effects and everything, and I like the story, and I mean, I was gonna say, I mean, I like the ending a lot.
Yeah, I did. I
like how. Ow. I mean, the director must have had a lot of like.
If you'd shown up at the beginning of the live, you'd know who he was.
Yeah, come on.
He's a horror friend and a horror author.
If you really want to get to know me, Curtis, pick up my book.
There you go. New plug. Perfect.
New plug. Beautiful. But I mean, I really think that I guess the guy who directed Hereditary and Midsummer must be a decent director, because he got the guy who played the main guy to hang dong for like 2 straight minutes in Midsummer.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Men, Hereditary, Under the Skin, and X are great. I haven't seen Under the Skin.
Oh, was X A24?
X is their ventures into slashers. I haven't
Okay.
seen either, but that is one I am actually quite interested to see. I just haven't watched it yet.
I was gonna say I liked X a lot.
You got what going on? What movies you watching? Because I know that's what you do when it's this late.
I got stuff going on.
Stuff and things. Midsummer was
Rick was
wild.
right, man. It's wild. I love it.
I liked it okay. The
Uh-oh.
only A24 film I have ever seen that I love and that I like genuinely liked on a first watch and loved is Saint Maud.
I haven't watched it yet.
That's a good one. But see, I'm a sucker for anything religion based. Anything that pushes that comfort of religion and questions it and brings I'm ready. I'm totally here for it.
Totally here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Side note, The Whale is A24 and it just kicked Oscar night. But yeah, I didn't know it was A24 until I saw all the stuff about him winning or that movie winning at the Oscars.
No, I didn't know that. Anyways, so the more
I probably won't watch that because it just kind of looks like a bunch of sad.
Yeah, I can't.
You know, like I don't know.
At least with horror, when they're sad, there's also kills.
That's true. Did you like The Witch?
No.
Me either. Nah. I didn't finish it.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
No, I cut it off. And then I watched the ending on a review channel.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
Yeah. In my defense, it was before I had a content channel. I had to commit to watching movies.
Okay, that's fair.
Fucking watch. Oh, I finished that. We've been watching that like we've been watching that as it comes out. We just watched the finale last night. Not last night. Night before. What's today? Tuesday. Night before last.
There you go.
It is all sad. I cried every single fucking episode.
Yep.
It's sad.
That's how the game was too.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I played the game in high school, and I played it with some friends, and one of them.
You were in high school in what year did that game come out?
2010, 2012, somewhere around there. 2012-ish.
Anyways.
Continue.
Uh-oh.
But
I was not, but we'll keep it moving. Okay. The next Friday the 13th project is being produced by. I did know that.
Damn it.
I'm already not like a super big Friday the 13th fan. I mean, I like the first one, which we talked about because Friday the 13th, well, the franchise, but like we talked about the first one in Noren's influential horror. Like I really like the first one, but I don't like. Oh my God. Now you feel old too. Yes, but you're still older than me, friend. So we're all good there.
I could pull my normal Twitter shtick on you real fast and just list off some movies in their age.
I hate when you do that, by the way. Every time you do that, I'm like, fuck this. Like you do it all the time.
It's so fun.
You're like, I just want to make everyone miserable today. This is how I'm going to do it.
It's how I feel on the inside. Everyone else is going to get it too.
Right.
Ah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess we should circle back to holiday movies, maybe.
Yeah. So I don't want to get off of this without bringing this one up. Have you ever heard of or seen the Easter horror movie Rotten Tale?
No, I have not. I feel like I've heard about it though.
So Tasha and I did a poll last year around this time. And we picked she picked 4 Eastery horror movies.
Right.
And Rotten Tale, we'll say 1, got the most votes. It was so it was bad. It's so bad. So it's about this. I'm not even sure what it's about. Let me think. What is it about? It's got like a mad scientist kind of thing going for it, where it's like there's this lab and they're doing these tests on this animal, and this animal, one of the animals is like a rabbit, and it bites this guy, and then he turns into like a were-rabbit. It's not a were-rabbit. That's what it reminds me of. Anyway, it's very strange.
Huh. I don't know. I guess I'll have. Is it? Well, you said it's not good, so maybe I won't check it out.
It's awful. Like I sent so many voice notes to Tasha bitching about this movie, and like some of it, don't get me wrong, is very funny. Like, But then some of it was like not very funny, and it just ended. It was awful. And I can't remember if that's one that has more than one or not. But there's an alarming amount of Easter horror movies. Let me just say that.
Are there?
Like, way more than you would think. One gets better with age. We just get crappy. Oh, don't forget the back problems. You can't forget the backs. Radar doesn't know about that because he was in high school in 2013 when The Last of Us came out, or 2012, whatever year it was.
Oh my gosh. I should have said anything. I should have been like, I played The Last of Us at an undisclosed time.
That just would have been more sus. I would have been like, wait a minute.
Hold
Why?
on
Why is it whatever, what you just
said. I just played The Last of Us when I was in high school last year.
Yeah, I think so Easter horror is definitely a thing.
I did not know this. Now I'm gonna have to dig into it.
Don't dig.
Don't dig.
Just kind of exist with that knowledge. I haven't seen anything other than that one, but a couple of them have franchises, like Bad Hair Day or whatever it is, whatever that one was, March Day, whatever it is. That one has like a couple of them, I think, or something like that. So there are some that have like more than just one.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Damn. Now I will have to do some research. I feel like I'm just missing out on something. I gotta know.
And then I think so. We did Bloody Valentine for February.
We did, and that's like the best Valentine one, you know. That and Valentine.
Bunny Man is one that has more than one, I think. For sure.
Critters 2
is an Easter holiday. That's fair.
Huh.
I had not thought about. I love Critters.
Oh, see, I've only seen the first one.
You should remedy that.
I should remedy that. Well, I don't have any excuse.
I think it's the second one has Leonardo DiCaprio in it, right? Is that the second one? Maybe the third one. You don't. I'm not bringing it up so people will invest time in it. I'm just bringing it up to tell you that it is a thing and you should stay very far away from it.
Yeah, we got to fill some gaps here in the live stream. Angel's just bringing up the Easter horror. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. I think it's it was funny. Like I did laugh a lot in the Rottendale one, but it was like, but it is so bad. Like it's bad. It's bad. Like, and I was mad for like a month that I had to watch it. It's like I was mad. I'm trying so the Valentine's Day one we did, when we talked about, obviously we did Black Christmas in December.
Curtis just freaking burned me. What the heck?
He watched Critters back when his dad was in elementary school.
I'm getting heat here.
I thought he said he liked you. Although to be fair, at least I hope when he's mean to you, it's because he likes you.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Playground rules with the grown-ass man on the other side of the keyboard. Yeah.
But yeah, we did Black Christmas, which ultimate Christmas sort of one. But there's so many Christmas ones. Oh my God. Shut him down. Shut down the chat.
No. Are you for real?
Nord, what are you doing, man?
No. Now, I did like 3D, but not better than the original.
No, come on.
I love the original Bloody Valentine. I mean, it's old. It's so good. But it's good.
It's good.
I loved that one. That's not one of my favorite, kills is in the original. We talked about this when we reviewed it, where that guy's like, I'm going to teach him. And he like hangs up that suit and he does the door thing and he's like, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. And then he goes, and he just takes that pickaxe and it goes right through his face. And I'm just like, yes. So good. So good. That's what you get for being a punk.
That's what you get for being a punk. An old 50-plus-year-old punk.
Yeah. You can be, punk is ageless. Like you can be a punk no matter what. You can be a 4-year-old and you're a punk. I tell my son that all the time. You can be in your 50s and be a punk. Or in his case, what was he, like 70? I don't know how old he was.
I guess. I don't know. He looked old.
He did look old. But I thought that was like one of the best kills. Like he's trying to be a smart ass and like scare the kids. And then he ends up dying. I thought that was great. Loved it.
I just keep thinking about that heart in the hot dog water. Whenever I
think gross.
Oh. Someone definitely got I'm just saying it. I know I said it when we talked about it, but someone 100% ate a heart in a hot dog water. They ate one of those hot dogs and they did not know. That is in continuity in that film. 100%.
You're like, that should have been a sequel. I want to see what happened to that person who did that. Oh my god.
That would be a crazy ass sequel, like to have the person get possessed by like the spirit of Axel.
Oh my god.
From the hot dog.
That is you know what? It's not too late. You're younger than me apparently, so you can do a movie. You can make that movie. Make it.
I'll write the novelization.
There we go. What are your thoughts on April Fool's Day?
Ooh, dang. I actually really like April Fool's Day.
I like that one too.
I was going to say, not too many people have heard of it, but I guess it's starting to catch on.
Isn't it weird how that works? Because I felt that way. I mean, like, there's been other things like that recently where, like, people are just all of a sudden talking about things that, like, have been around for, like, a really long time.
Right. I guess, I don't know, maybe it's just, like, having access to it might do that, you know?
Yeah, so many streaming things. And horror got, like, a really big bump the last year and a half. So it's just been kind of like, people are like going back and looking at things, I guess. But I'm also noticing these things where like people are like I remember when I used to tell people that I loved Season of the Witch, they were like,
right.
Really? You like Season of the Witch? And now everyone's like, I love that one. It's so good. And then I'm the one going, really? Really? Because like when I said I liked it, everyone made fun of me. But now all of a sudden it's like a bandwagon.
Right.
Weird, those trends.
It's I mean, that's my whole life. I got bullied in school for liking anime, and then like 2 years after I graduated, everyone's like, I love anime. And I'm like, oh, screw you. You gave me wedgies for that. What the hell?
And now you love it.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck? Now I see literally people like just this buff dude at the gym, just always walking by, and they've always got like Demon Slayer t-shirts on and stuff. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I think anime is another thing that I have noticed people are like used to make fun of people for, and now it's like everybody's into it, I guess. It's weird. The other one was The Exorcist 3. It's like everyone, I'm telling you, a year ago, you couldn't get anybody to talk about that damn movie. And now everyone's like, oh no, it's always been always. Well, your definition of always and my definition must not match, because I used to get hate for liking that movie.
I remember I actually always did like The Exorcist 3 more than the others, because I just thought the first and second one were boring.
Sure.
No, I swear.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, because like I watched them all three, like the first three when I was young, and I was just like, well, something actually fucking happens in the third one.
That's true.
You know? And I mean, it's just a good movie too. George C. Scott, I love him.
It is good. No, it is good. You're right.
And it's such a cool premise of like.
It is good. No, I liked it too.
Yeah.
I just thought it was crazy how it used to be like everyone that I ever talked to about The Exorcist was like, oh, the first one is the only one, the others don't exist. And then now all of a sudden it's like, oh no, The Exorcist 3 is like the best. Like, is it like, where was this conversation like however long ago? Like, come on. It's weird.
I like that people are more accepting of, these other films now, though. That is nice. I just wish you didn't yell at me 4 years earlier about it.
Yeah, because this is a repeat conversation, but now you're being nice about it. I know what you mean. I'm telling you, I caught so much shit for my love for Season of the Witch, which is my favorite Halloween movie from the franchise.
Whoa, okay.
So
that's
I caught so much shit about it. And then now everyone's like, I love the Season of the Witch one.
I will not lie. 5 years ago, I'd probably be one of the people giving you shit about it. But I have changed my ways.
You've come around too.
I have. I feel like also just how we've like our kind of comedy has changed also. Like we're more into memes now and just like ridiculous.
That's true.
I feel like that's helped it a buttload. because I feel like how all these other films are getting, brought back and rediscovered is just like these ridiculous elements of them that are just funny or that you can reuse.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Season of the Witch is a great example because what the fuck? If you like look at the plot of it, it's like, all right, first two, someone in a William Shatner mask painted white goes around killing people on Halloween. All right, you're with me so far. And then John Carpenter's like, but for the third one, a dude will use the magical powers of Stonehenge to turn kids into bugs with masks.
I think we said it 3 times and summoned Rick.
It's like Beetlejuice.
He's like my Season of the Witch bestie. We both love that one. We did a review on that one in October. Well, and I think, the reason, okay, and I didn't know this until recently, actually. On the ride back from the Mothman Festival, my friend Mike was telling me about these towns that are called I forget what the exact terminology is, but they're basically like corporation towns. And they're towns like the one that we see in Season of the Witch.
Right.
So it's essentially this town of people who literally everything. Yeah, he loves the Witch. They literally their entire life revolves around the business that's in the middle of the city.
Right.
And this is a real thing. So, for example, if you work there, you live in this small town, your money goes back into the town. So, for example, instead of getting paid in normal dollars, it's like Chuck E. Cheese money where you can spend it, but only at Chuck E. Cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the thing is when people live in these towns, it's actually quite difficult for them to leave, to ever do anything because they're not set up for. And so I think because we had that conversation and then I rewatched Season of the Witch after I watched the Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
It made it scarier to me because I was like, this is real life.
They can't get out.
This is real. This happens in towns. But anyway, I didn't know that about towns like that. So it's like when you think about it, it's just kind of like, yikes,
Yeah. Well, and it's crazy because I had been exposed to that idea of those sort of towns existing, but I didn't realize it. Because I read Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events when I was a kid. And in the 4th book, that literally is what the orphans go is to that sawmill. And that's the whole thing.
That's
that whole premise.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that can't be real. That's just in this book. Nope.
It's fucking real.
It's crazy. That's horrifying.
And so it just adds, of course, I like anything that's kind of corporation, sneaky business. I think stuff like that's really cool. But I love Season of the Witch. Well, and and I know this is pretty common knowledge, I think, for the most part, but Halloween was supposed to be an anthology.
Right.
So, but it went, that's not what happened. And so people fell, in love with Michael Myers. And so 3 was the redheaded stepchild of at the time, the 3 films.
Right. And what is that? There's another movie that people always bring up and they're like, if this wouldn't have been named this in this franchise, people would have liked it. I can't remember what else it is. Damn it. Oh, I'll think of it later.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm not thinking, I can't think of any either. Not off the top of my head anyway.
Not off the top of my head. But I just remembered a holiday themed horror movie that I gotta bring up, and it's Blood Rage. Have you heard of this one?
Yes.
It's the only Thanksgiving themed horror movie. And I love it so much.
You haven't seen Thanksgiving?
Oh, I have, but I think Blood Rage is better. I know. Come at me.
Better? I'm trying to think of what that term means.
I like it more. Let me put it that way.
That's probably it.
I think Thanksgiving is just crude humor. And I think Blood Rage is just so bad it's good.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And I love I forgot all the characters' names in Blood Rage, but the killer, I love it when they found when him and this dude are he's pretending oh, we gotta find this killer, and they're walking around and they find all these bloody weapons just lying out on the bridge, and the guy the the victim's like, what is that? And then he just goes, well, it's not cranberry sauce. It's so stupid. So dumb. I
think that's probably one of the things that makes holiday horror what it is because it is stupid, right? Like most of them, not all of them. There are plenty of like I wouldn't consider Bloody Valentine silly. I definitely wouldn't say, Black Christmas is definitely a black comedy, but not in the same, it's not silly.
Right.
But those ones like that, like the Easter ones, the Thanksgiving ones,
those are silly. Those are just dumb. They're there for a good time.
The Leprechaun, like
right.
yeah.
Oh, I guess Uncle Sam is like another one that's like supposed to be kind of serious.
Ow, I haven't seen that one. Sorry, kitty cat. I haven't seen that one.
Well, it's
I guess 4th of July.
Yeah, it's 4th of July, but it's like really about sort of like where does patriotism kind of become nationalism? And that's like the theme kind of it, because it's like about this dude named Sam who dies like while he's in the military, and he comes back on the 4th of July. But Sam was just an asshole. He was not a good guy.
Right.
And but there you go.
Yeah.
But it's just so weird because they're like, we're taking this seriously. The tone's serious. But he's like in a Uncle Sam costume when he comes back from the dead. And it's just like, I can't take that seriously.
I haven't seen that one. I didn't even know that one was a thing.
Yeah. I don't think it's a big one, but it's weird. And I'm like, why is this tone so serious?
I have to look at that. I have to look at that one because I didn't know. I haven't heard of that one. I didn't know that one was.
Isaac Hayes is in it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it older?
I think it came out mid-90s.
Okay.
That is.
I'll have to look up that one because I hadn't heard of that one. I didn't know that was a thing.
I was gonna say I don't want to say it's older. But
I was alive at least. I guess I'm not sure if that helps my argument. Have you heard the thing about like when people check IDs now, they just know that they're old enough as long as there's if there's a 1, if the birth year starts with a 1.
Oh,
because it's 2023. So if you're born,
it's true, but ouch.
And then now that's like people refer to like that time frame as like the 1900s, and you're just like, oh my god,
oh no, stop it. Please no, that's a whole century. Don't do that.
Please don't do that. Don't lump us in. A lot happened.
Yeah,
in the 1900s. Like
we learned to fly and cloned a sheep in that century. There's a lot of stuff that happened between those 2 points.
Agreed.
A lot in cinema too.
That's true.
I'm trying to think if there are like any old. I think holiday like horror didn't really catch on until like the 80s, well 70s, and then on 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because I don't think it existed before, like in the 50s or something. So.
And then most of the ones that are Halloween are pretty serious. Like obviously there's some that are. Right. Less than, but for the most part, those are like the serious. That's like the Halloween franchise, Trick or Treat.
Right.
What's the other big anthology one?
That's based on Halloween?
That's Halloween, yeah. What is it? Oh my god. Bad Candy. You seen that one?
Oh yeah, okay, Bad Candy, yeah.
That one's kind of newer, but there's a lot of all the Halloween ones that I can think of off the top of my head are pretty serious.
Creepshow is a horror anthology. It does have a Father's Day bit in it. So.
Which one?
Creepshow, the first one.
Oh, Creepshow, yes. Father's Day. Have I seen the Father's Day one?
It's like the first one they do where the guy's like, it's the old guy and he's like, I want my cake, Bedelia.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I wasn't even thinking about Father's Day. That's right. Yeah. Father's Day horror.
Father's Day horror, which it's a good segue because Shudder just recently got Holidays, the horror anthology movie, and that has a segment, one of them on Father's Day.
That's a mixed one, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good if you haven't seen it.
I haven't, but I'm familiar. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. There's the Father's Day one is actually a serious one, and I think it's one of the better ones in that
In
collection.
that anthology.
Yeah,
So, okay.
yeah. There's some. They do like a whole gambit of like holidays. Like I think there's 10 or 11 that they do. So they like run. There's pretty decent, like like 5 to 10 minute little shorts. Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
pretty good. The Easter one is by far my favorite, and it is good. You will like
I have
it.
trust issues with Easter
No,
horror.
I
Okay?
swear. I swear.
So what's your favorite like holiday horror, either movie or holiday type?
God, I mean, I feel like because
Is it holiday horror? Happy Death Day?
is it? I don't think so. It's birthday horror. But
Some people do think their birthdays are holidays.
well, I tell them not to be so full of themselves.
I will have you know, sir, that sometimes mine falls on Labor Day. So
Oh, okay. I
do love Happy Death Day though.
I do. I was gonna say I do love it.
Those are good.
My birthday is on Flag Day, which is not a real holiday, but
That's a super edgy one.
what flag, good sir?
Okay, so what's like your favorite one or your favorite holiday type?
That's so tough. I feel like we should just as a caveat exclude Black Christmas and Halloween because those are like duh.
As franchise, I mean not franchises, as films.
Yeah, like from that holiday horror because they're just
Fine.
so good,
Fine.
I'm just saying.
I'll allow it.
God, if I had to pick one, I would actually probably say holidays.
Yeah, because it's so many different ones.
I love
That's
anthologies. Cheating. What? Come on.
Yeah. You're the guest. You can do whatever you want. I'm just kidding, but
that's right. What about you though?
Oh, Christmas all the way. I'm gonna pick the type because
okay.
There's just because Christmas is supposed to be this like very specific thing, right?
Right.
And I really, 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 really love like taking all of that holly jolly BS and just making it like either really fun or really dark or whatever. Like there's just something really exciting about that. Like I had so much fun going through Christmas horror movies in December. I loved them. Like they A Christmas Horror Story rocks. That's a solid anthology.
I like that one.
I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like came out 2019. It's really good.
Yeah, it's relatively new. There is another one that no one ever talks about. Norn, I'm curious if you've heard of this because you tend to know more like obscure random things. There's this that's a compliment in the horror world in case anyone was second guessing that. It's called all the creatures are stirring.
Yeah, that was on Shudder like 3 or 4 years ago.
It's a Christmas horror anthology. And so the first installment of it is not super strong. I will say that. But once I got into like the rest of them, I was like, oh my God, this is really good. I really like it. It's one of like, I rewatched it again this year. It's going to be on like a, like I'll have to cycle through it every holiday season because I really liked it.
I was going to say, I remember there were a few I was like, this is not so great. But the one that stuck out to me, I remember, was the overarching one where the girl's going on the date with the guy and they go watch
in
that
the theater.
Yeah, and that really weird, they're doing like that so weird good play. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is I like that a lot.
It's weird. It's so weird. It's good though. Like I really liked that one a lot. And I like my favorite from that. I liked the overlap or the overall story too, but my favorite one is the one with the girls in the van.
I don't remember what happens in that one. It's been so long.
It's like there's something in the van and the guy, it's like Christmas Eve, I think, or something. Yeah. And the guy's like out getting last minute stuff and he goes over to help them because they're helpless, but they really just are trying to find someone to attach this demon to.
Oh yeah. I remember
is that I'm right? That's all the creatures
are
stirring. Am I mixing it up?
Yeah, no, I remember that.
That's that one. Okay. That was like my favorite one. I really liked that one a lot.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it sometime. I
Oh,
can't.
it's so good.
It's been a hot minute.
And then the other one I really love that's Christmas horror is Puka, which is a Hulu Into the Darkness
Oh
original.
yeah, I remember that because it's like he gets the doll or something for someone for
He
Christmas.
becomes so he's a struggling actor and he
That's
gets the
right.
role as the to dress up. And I my whole life I have been absolutely petrified of those things. I do not think there is anything appealing about people dressing up like giant weird ass animals. It's not cute, it's not funny, it freaks me out. I despise Chuck E. Cheese. Like scary. Scary stuff.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
Chuck E.
And
Cheese
so
is so good.
come on though.
What?
It's literally a giant gray rat. And I was always treated like I was the weird one that I didn't want my picture taken with him. I'm like, it's literally a rat. Like, why are you guys so excited right now?
Chuck E. Cheese is like a weird thing, and it's still
is.
crazy. It's still crazy that it hasn't gone the way of like Blockbuster or something. To me, there are still Chuck E. Cheeses that are open.
That's true. They have modernized them a little bit, though. You can get beer at Chuck E. Cheese now.
That's just weird. I don't know. The last time
that made it worse. That made it worse.
The last time I went to one was for like my little brother. He's like a decade younger than me, so we went there for like one of his birthdays, and like the dude who is like checking people in and stuff, or like checking to make their wristbands, was just standing there like, he was looking at not his phone, tickets. He had a wad of tickets that he was just slowly like unraveling, and like we were like, hey, do we need to get stamped or something? And he went, no, you're good. And like it's like all life had been sucked out of him and stuff.
He's like, I hate it here.
Yeah. And like I remember during the time we were there, I heard that someone was like, oh no, like someone went to him and was like, my daughter had an accident up in the play slide and stuff. And he just went, but he didn't go to do it. Like he didn't go to clean it up or like get anyone. He just sighed heavy.
The acknowledgement of an annoyed sigh.
Yeah, he was like, thanks for telling us, ma'am. And she walked away, and then he just went back to still working on those tickets. And it's like, this is Chuck E. Cheese in a nutshell right now.
This is Chuck E. Cheese in a nutshell.
That's it.
I just don't think that those things are appealing. I think they're scary. They freak me out. And so in Puka, that's what he is. Right. He dresses up in the thing. But that one's to me is like I would consider that more like a psychological horror than like, I loved it though. And so a Puka is actually a type of dark fairy. It has like a lore associated with it, which I did not know. The only reason I know that is because for whatever reason, when my son was very small, I started calling him that. And I didn't have a reason. I didn't have a point of reference at all. It just, that's what it's, instead of like Pookie or whatever other people call their kids, that's what I said. And so my mom looked it up one day and she was like, I knew it sounded familiar, which is a weird thing to say because she knew that it was related to dark fairies. And I was like, what the hell? That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. And then a couple of years after he's born, I see the advertisement for the movie Puka. And I'm like, oh, done and done. And so
let's get on board.
It's so good though. I know there's a sequel. I haven't seen the sequel, but the first one is so good. It's like, it's funny. It's weird. It's heartbreaking. I loved it. I thought it was so good.
Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about the Into the Dark series really. You brought up Puka, but they did a whole series of like holiday themed horror.
Were they all holiday?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Was that the point?
Yeah,
because I totally missed that. Well, what holiday is the elevator one? Because that's the only other one I've seen.
Is the elevator one of theirs?
It's Into the Dark or whatever.
I don't know. Labor Day? I don't know. No one's there, right? So maybe, I don't know. No one else is in the office, right? So maybe that's it. I don't know.
I'm going to look it up while you talk about it for a second. Because I'm wondering. I'm like, dang.
But I remember the one where like the assassin kills someone and he has to like drag the body around, but it's Halloween, so everyone thinks that's his costume. I remember that. And then like Pilgrim.
I have not seen that. It's Valentine's Day.
Oh,
The
really?
elevator one is Valentine's Day. I didn't
Oh,
know that. I didn't
huh.
realize they were holiday ones.
There you go. Shoot. Mind
Oh,
blown.
now I have to like hurry
Okay.
up and watch the other ones. I've only seen
Yeah.
two. I've seen Down, which is the elevator one, and then I've seen
Uh-huh.
Puka. That's it.
The other one is I think it's just called Pilgrim, but that one's really good too. It's like a family's, it's Thanksgiving theme. So it's like one of the only, and I would say it's an actual good Thanksgiving horror movie. It's the one good one. But it's like this family, there's kind of like a rift because there's like a stepmom and the teen's not really getting along with her. But the stepmom's like, well, you know what? We're gonna get back to our Thanksgiving roots. So she invites like some like Puritan pilgrim actors to like stay with them during the holidays, but they're like really fanatic pilgrim like reenactors,
Oh
and
no,
it
that
like goes
sounds
off the yeah,
good.
it's pretty good.
So, do you know how many there are?
No idea.
I didn't realize, I didn't remember from the elevator one, which I loved, by the way. And of course, I love Puka. I did not realize that the elevator one took place on a holiday. I didn't realize that. I didn't know it
Yeah.
was holiday related. I thought it was just a series of.
Here we go. Let me look it up.
That's crazy. They were
No
so
way.
well done.
It says there's 12 of them.
Fuck.
That can't be right. Holy shit.
Maybe
Yeah,
so. Maybe not all of them were holidays. Maybe they did some all together as holidays, and then they had some others that weren't.
they got it. Some of these, yeah, sure. Once you've done one, there's like there's the there's flesh and blood, which I don't know what that one is for Thanksgiving. The body, that's the Halloween one. The Puka,
Yeah,
down.
the
New
elevator.
Year, New You for New Year's Eve. There's one called Treehouse, which is for International Women's Day / the Ides of March, which interesting to do a combo. What a weird
Of
combo
those two
of those
specifically.
two. There's one called I'm Just Fucking With You. That's April Fool's Day.
Oh, that's clever. I like that.
All That We Destroy is Mother's Day. They Come Knockin', Father's Day.
They really did that.
Yeah, they
Dang.
did a lot.
And hopefully they're Hulu originals, but they've been taking off. Is it Hulu that's been doing that? Where they've been taking off originals? I don't know if it's Hulu or if it's another one.
They did like 2 seasons of it.
Oh, so 2 like waves.
Yeah. So that's Puka Lives.
I only knew about the first wave, I think. And then
Yeah.
I always meant to go back and watch the rest of them, but I never did. That's awesome.
I was gonna say, because in the second, because like that was their first season I was listing off. And then the second one, they go back and do a couple more of those holidays, like again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they do have a St. Patrick's Day one, Crawlers. So I think I've heard
Crawlers, like a pub crawl.
I think so, maybe.
Clever. I like it.
Boom. But yeah, so there you go.
I'll have to watch more of those because I really loved Puka and I really liked Down. Those were good.
I was gonna say I like Pilgrim, and Down was pretty solid. I was gonna say
Down was good. I liked it. So
I feel like they could be hit or miss, but that's with any movie you watch.
sure. Well, and what's true is it's not like anything Hulu has put out on the horror side of things has been like a low production value. Like they've all been really well done. I mean, they did a film last year called Grim Cuddy. Have you seen that?
I feel like I've heard of that. That's the one where it's just like the dude with the skeleton mask or whatever, right? Or am I wrong?
It's not quite a skeleton, but you might be thinking of the same thing. So, do you remember a couple years ago the Momo hoax where there were parents saying that their kids were seeing these like secret videos that were coming through on kid videos where it was this character called Momo and it was telling them to do these awful things while their parents were gone, like take pills and turn on the stove, shit like that.
Oh no, I do not know.
Well, it turned out to all be a hoax. It wasn't real. One mommy blogger made it up because she was anti-technology.
Oh my goodness.
And so Grim Cuddy is a story. I really loved it because it's statement horror is what it is. But Grim Cuddy is a film about that hoax, but
Okay.
the hoax manifests into something real because that's the danger of things like that. You start these
Okay.
scares and you start, because basically what happens, this mommy blogger says this thing is really happening. And then moms from all over the place that follow her start taking away their kids' technology. It causes problems in the family. It makes their kids act out and do these things and blah, 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 blah. It's like a trickle down effect of what it means to have a balance of technology and no technology in your life and how to respect your children's place. And it's very well done as far as its message, but it was a Hulu original, and it was super good.
All right. I'll have to check it out. Shoot.
I liked it. I think the creature design is a little silly, but I think it's intentional.
Right. Okay. So maybe
because that's not really the point. The point isn't the creature. The point is the But if you go look up a Momo hoax, you'll see what they were saying it looked like.
Okay.
Then you'll see why they made the creature look the way they did.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, well, cool.
There you go.
Holiday horror.
Holiday horror. There you go. There was one more. I feel like that was on the tip of my tongue, but I forgot. Terror Train. That's a holiday horror.
Yeah.
Terror Train.
That's
New Year's Eve, baby.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah, that is a good.
That's not like bad. But it's good though.
It's the surprising one with David Copperfield.
For
some reason.
That came out. What year did that come out?
I think it was like 80, 81.
Early 80s, yeah. Had to be. Okay.
Yeah, because Jamie Lee Curtis was still like early Scream Queen days.
Yep.
So
that's a good one. I forgot about that one.
Cardinals.
We've talked about so many movies, though.
That's fair.
There are so many holiday freaking so many.
There's a good chunk, which now I know there's Easter ones, so now I gotta get on that train.
There's so many Easter ones, and with things like Tubi, you'll be able to watch them all.
I feel like there should be we should have more. I don't know, like some weird ones. Like some people take chances with May Day horror or
Tree Day, Arbor Day.
Yeah, get some. There's not enough movies with killer trees. I'm just gonna go about saying. Yeah. I would love to see something like a tree eat someone, like in the Mortal Kombat games. Sometimes that happens. You do a environment fatality. They kick them into the tree, and the tree goes hum nom nom and eats them. I want that in a horror movie.
Yeah, because we get them pulling kids out of their beds and dragging them outside, and the poltergeist, and
but
we get rapey trees and Evil Dead.
Looking at you, Evil Dead.
Yeah, taking it a little too far.
But there's no trees that are eating people. I don't think. No.
Even in Lord of the Rings, they just squish them and throw them around.
Yeah, that's true. So,
yeah,
Hollywood, get on it, or whoever. Someone do it.
Or you know what? Whoever. I don't care. Just do it.
I want a super low budget where it's they spend a lot of, they have enough money that they just get a good sort of tree animatronic, but if they gotta do a close-up, it's just some dude in a costume when it's eating someone in a felt costume.
My friend Steve was just rewatching Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in one of them, and I don't remember this because the only one I really remember is the first one. And he sent me a picture of it, and it's a literal Barbie doll. Literally a Barbie doll, just sitting and then getting held up to be messed with by some monster or something. But it's it's literally a Barbie doll.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness.
You can tell that's what it is.
Is Children of the Corn a holiday? I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't think so.
No. Well, I think he was rewatching them because he went and saw the new one.
Wait, what? Has it come out already?
It was in theaters.
What?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, damn.
I think I'm not crazy.
Oh my gosh. People in the chat. Did the new
Anybody?
Children of the Corn drop?
I know it's coming to. It's going to be on Shutter soon.
Is it? Wow.
Mm-hmm. It had a what do they call, like, a limited theater release or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that.
Well, that makes me feel better because I remember seeing
Well,
that.
and to be fair, like Scream just came out. That kind of overshadowed a lot of.
Yeah, you can't really compete with Scream. It has become a juggernaut, which
And I'm really
what's wrong
surprised
with that?
that 65 came out the same weekend. The dinosaur movie with Adam
Oh
Driver.
yeah, I didn't know that either.
See, but it can't. But that's because, like, I'm really surprised that they did that. I don't think I would have put my movie out the same week as Scream 6.
Yeah, that's just kind of a bad move, I feel like.
But
Just
a
in
lot of
general.
people I'm seeing are just going to go see both. So I guess, I mean,
Oh,
if
well,
you're going to go see it, you're going to go see it regardless, I guess. But I just personally wouldn't want that to go up against Scream
right.
6.
I mean, I feel like there's a good amount of people who are like, I only want to see one movie at a time. And they're like,
Of course it's gonna be
yeah,
something.
which one am I going to go with here? Adam
Yeah.
Driver versus Dinosaur or Scream? Duh, it's Scream.
Yeah. Well, and this Scream broke 44 million this weekend.
Hot.
So it's
Okay.
the highest grossing in the franchise thus far.
Wow.
For opening weekend.
Opening week. Okay. That's really good though. Post-COVID numbers, that's really good.
I went and saw it. This was one I was like, I'm only making for certain, with 100% certainty, there were only two movies that I know 100% I'm going to see in theaters, and that's this and Evil Dead Rises.
Fair enough. I can't think of any other movies I'm going to see in theaters. Well, and it's tough too because my fiance just hates going to the movies, and it's such a
general. So it's not a horror thing; it's just in general, not her thing.
Maybe. Yeah, well, because we were. So I mean, in Wichita, Kansas, there was a monopoly in the area of Wichita, Kansas. It was owned, and there was one chain of movie theaters owned by a dude called Bill Warren.
Okay.
And these were the snazziest theaters, mostly because he employed a lot of high schoolers, so he could pay a minimum wage.
Right.
You know, but he didn't give out benefits. But you know, but they were just really good theaters. Like, and they would like the music he picked for like play throughout the theater was always like in tune with like what was playing.
That's
before
cool.
Like a movie started. Like the trailers, there were only 2 or 3, and they were all themes that would like, you know, of movies you would probably see with that movie. And it was in like the seats were nice, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then it got bought by the Regal. And the Regal sucks.
Regal does suck. That's true.
So the last time, you know, we went and saw something, and my fiance's just been getting more and more like annoyed by it because we were spoiled under Warren.
It's not the same experience anymore. It's a chain. It's become a literal Yeah.
Well, and it's so funny because the tickets to get into the theater with the Warren were like on cardstock or like actual like tickets.
That's cool.
So you get a physical ticket that you could take home. And I remember the absolute backlash that came when the Regal bought it and they immediately switched to like paper, you know,
they're
like
crappy.
Yeah. And like so many people went, that's it. I'm boycotting the theater in Wichita because they're like, where's our actual physical tickets?
Yeah.
And so we were in Wichita, Kansas. We were really pampered. And I mean, there's just too many trailers now in front of movies.
You are not joking. We went and saw, what was the movie we saw? Babylon, the Brad Pitt movie that came out like a couple months ago. And I swear to God, the ads on it, the trailers before that movie, it was at least a half hour.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like 7 or 8 trailers, and like some of them don't relate like at all. No. Like the last one we saw was X in theaters.
Okay.
And like X is kind of a long movie, whatever. But like there were 2 kids movie trailers.
Before
they showed X, there was like one for like this kiddo's like, I'm gonna build a theme park. And it's like, why are you showing this in front of Porno Texas Chainsaw Massacre? It's basically what X is. It's like, what are you doing? Do you know who's sitting through this movie?
That is weird.
So
I think I'm trying to think like Scream 6, we got there late because we knew there were going to be trailers. And I really probably have seen all of the ones that, you know, are going to be playing because I mean, I pay attention to trailers that are related to horror. And but I went to sit at like it's supposed to start at 3. I went in to sit down like 3:25 and it had just the lights had just dimmed.
Oh, jeez. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Yeah, it's just
ridiculous.
Too much.
And then movies are getting longer too. So the movies are getting longer. The trailers are taking up more time. And so it's like a 4 or 5 hour experience now.
Which is that's too much time. Too much time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I am going to go see Evil Dead Rises. I don't know which theater I'm going to go to. Probably not a Regal. But I went to AMC to see Scream.
Oh, okay.
But my best friend and I went and saw Scream because she's a slasher. She likes slashers and she likes Scream. And then I am not really forcing. I asked very nicely, but I'm making my girlfriend go with me to see Evil Dead Rises. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a major gore fest, which isn't really like necessarily her cup of tea, but she already said yes. So
she's got to see it.
Gonna go see Evil Dead.
You made the commitment.
That's right. So I'm gonna go see that, and then other than that, anything else I go see will just be luck of the draw. If I can make it happen, I'll go. But those are the ones that I was like, have to.
Right. I mean, I couldn't think of anything else besides like I said, Scream, Evil Dead Rise. There's nothing else I'd be like, yeah, let me go see that.
Everything else is a gamble.
Right. Maybe Shazam. Maybe I'd see Shazam. I like Shazam.
Shazam's pretty good. I saw the first one.
Shazam. I liked it as a growing up too. I like that sort of hero. I don't know why.
What is it like not quite an anti-hero, but kind of, right?
Well, it's just like he's a kid that like doesn't know he's in over his head kind of, but he can like
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Because he's like in the comics, I think he's like a 10-year-old kid who
I have no idea.
Yeah. He's like 10 in the comics. So he's like an actual kid that's like, but when he says Shazam, he turns into like
a grown-up.
A grown-up who's like, I have the powers of a god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyways,
the first one was fun.
It was pretty good, but DC is pretty hit and miss. So
you are not kidding.
That's not a guarantee either. So, but
and I did go see Titanic for the 25th anniversary.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess you know what you're getting out of it.
It was so good. I went and saw it in theaters like 3 or 4 times when I was a kid.
No spoilers for it.
When I was younger. Yeah, no spoilers. But it was so good to see it on. It was real D 3D, which I guess is different than like red and blue 3D. The glasses were all black.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I guess I haven't.
So it was like it wasn't the like goofy pop out stuff. I really wish you would be still. I know, and you're very cute, but please be still. It wasn't like the goofy like pop out stuff. It was more of just like it added depth to the scenes. You know what I mean? Like
so
like
it dimension.
Wasn't. So like it wasn't cheesy 3D. It actually looked pretty good. But I mean, I love Titanic. It's one of my favorite movies. But it was really cool seeing it in theaters.
Fair enough.
But other than that,
actually, I will admit that there's a guy in Wichita who always, I don't know if it'll happen this year, but he always manages to find somewhere to like get some local theater to do retro showings of horror movies during October. So I always show up for that.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet because
I like that.
Unfortunately, the theater he normally does it at, I think, is shutting down. So that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, or during COVID, he managed to get him at the drive-in we have out here. We have a drive-in in Wichita, Kansas. So the drive-ins are cool. So
I haven't been to a drive-in in ages.
Well, I'll just go one right now. No, it's awful weather to go to a drive, and I wouldn't do it right now. It's
Not right
cold.
now.
It's too cold for that. It's absolutely miserable. Like if you're like sitting out there and like for a double feature and it's like 12 and the Kansas wind is blowing and it's like
Oh, miserable.
ugh. But once summer hits, it's also miserable. But
Different kind of miserable.
yeah, you're sweating profusely as you're sitting there going, "Oh God,
Yeah.
oh."
Yeah.
But you can't win. Is what I'm saying. But it's an experience, so
It sounds like it.
it's better than I'm making it sound.
Okay, I just have to believe you because the weather in Georgia is completely different than your weather.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
We don't really have winter here anymore.
Ooh.
It just kind of gets cold for a few days a year, and that's pretty much it. Thank God. Goodbye. That's driving me crazy. I'm like holding in my Ethernet cord, like, please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up.
Oh man.
Anyway.
I don't know. See, I like winter, but
Yeah.
I'm not a summer guy, so I don't think I could make it in Georgia.
I'm not a summer person. I'm like miserable in the heat. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to deal with it. But we don't get the other. There's no spring or fall here, like hardly at all. And so we don't get any of the comfortable weather. It's either really fucking hot and miserable or sort of cold and miserable. Like it's not really like
it's just miserable.
It's just miserable. It rains like most of our like this past, like we'll call it winter season. It's like rained a lot. It's been miserable. So we don't get any like fun, nice, good weather. It's like 2 days a year, you know.
Fun, good weather.
You know what I mean.
Right. It's super windy in Kansas like most of the time. So like if there's any extremes, it's just horrific. There's
horrific.
There's an awful feeling with going like, and I've done it a couple times where it's like, oh, my AC in my car, it hasn't switched on quite yet. I'll roll down the window in the summer and just getting a straight blast of hot
air.
Just like,
oh, you're right, Nora. An Exorcist remake does come out this year. Not gonna go see that in theaters. I have zero faith.
I didn't know they were doing that. See, I'm behind on everything.
It comes out October 13th, which is Friday the 13th.
Hey, you know what else is coming out this year, though? The next Saw movie, and I might actually go see that in theaters, actually.
I'm actually a really big Saw fan.
I like me Saw.
I love Saw, but I don't know. Spiral, did you see Spiral?
I didn't, because it's too serious.
It's not.
No, it's not. Okay.
It's not. It's awful. I hated it.
Oh.
But I will see the new one, but I don't know if I don't know. We'll see what a trailer looks like. I'll go from there.
I don't know. I absolutely love Saw though. I love, and if I heard that Tobin Bell is going to be in it as John Kramer.
And so is Amanda, I think.
Oh, really?
Amanda. I think so.
I wish they would have kept John Kramer alive longer, just so I could, because it's one of my favorite things of the series is just seeing how many like hurdles John Kramer has to clear to go like, this is why this person deserves to die.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And like, I know you probably don't see all my TikTok videos, but did you see the undeserved death for Saw 6?
Yes.
It's like, he's just like, the janitor has to die because he smokes. And it's like, that's it.
One of my favorite Saw memes ever is when they talk about, it's got a picture of him with a baseball cap on, and it's like, some movies spend $1 million to do CGI to make someone look younger. In the Saw franchise, they just put Tobin Bell in a hat backwards.
And that's in Saw 6 also.
That's 6, yeah. For
Saw
the flashbacks. 6. Oh my
Saw
God.
6. Or is that Saw 6? I can't remember.
I think that's right. That sounds right to me.
I was good.
I think I own.
Yeah.
I think I own all of them up to like the last couple, like the last 2. And I won't be buying Spiral. Spiral was garbage.
So the other one, Saw 3D, that you don't own?
I don't own that one either.
Okay, well that one's not too great either.
Mm-mm.
And
I love the franchise, so we'll see what they do with it.
That also features one of my favorite "they deserve to die" sort of things, where they're
in
like
3D.
Yeah, in the 3D one, because they're like they find like one of his old, like his first sort of like puzzle traps for like a group of people.
Yes.
And like one of them is like just the intern who messed up on his x-ray to diagnose him. And it's like, Jesus, dude, he's just an intern.
He didn't know any better. Yeah.
This guy didn't get a fair livable wage. He deserved to die.
There's a game coming out. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like Saw. It's a game where you get put in these horrific puzzles and you have to do things to like escape. But it's obviously like based off of Saw, but it's not related to, but obviously like influenced.
Obviously, so right.
That's supposed to come out sometime this year too. I'm trying to think I don't know about The Exorcist though. Like I
don't know. I haven't seen anything on it, but
I've only read stuff about them. And the thing that frustrates me is they keep doing this thing where they reboot or continue or whatever they're calling it. And they do them in sets of 3s. So then they rush make them. They're doing the same thing with The Strangers. They filmed all 3 Strangers back to back to back.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Why? Why would you do that? And then now they're like, oh, well, The Exorcist is going to be a trilogy. How about we see if we like the first one before you start making commitments? And then they also did that with FNAF, the Five Nights at Freddy's film.
Right.
They finally started working on that after having the rights for 5 years. They finally start working on it. And they're like, oh, it's going to be a trilogy. How about y'all calm down with that shit?
Oh, my God. Wait a second. There's not even 3 Strangers movies right now.
Is there not? Is there just
there's
2?
There's just 2.
Just the 2.
What? You are expanding the Strangers universe by over 100%. What the hell are you doing?
I just think they need to see how it goes before making commitments like that. Because what are you going to do if you've already started filming all these extra movies and everyone hates the first one?
Right.
I mean, I guess if you're a filmmaker, do whatever you want. But to me, all it tells me is that you hurried through them, that you didn't give them the time and patience that they deserve. And take your time on them. Like,
do what you need to do. We want a character. We want something. We want something
good. Something worth the wait. The FNAF one really pisses me off because I've been waiting 5 years for them to make the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And when they finally started production, and then they were like, very next day, I almost called him Stu Macher. Matthew Lillard signs 3-movie contract. And I'm like, why? Five Nights at Freddy.
But story
takes place between Saw 2 and 3. The new one, I think, is what you're talking about.
Okay, this one. Okay,
Earth, right?
Right. Yeah, that's got to be it. Yeah.
Also, I think Hoffman's character.
Yeah, that's got to be between 2 and 3. Okay.
I didn't know that. I knew that they said Amanda and
Spicy. I'm liking that. That's the core group. That's what I want.
That's the main. Yeah, I loved the first 3. I know some people have iffy feelings on 3, but I really liked 3 with the husband and wife that you had no idea were husband and wife. I thought that was so good.
Angel spoilers. All right.
Oh, sorry. That movie came out like a million years ago.
A million years ago. A million years ago, Angel? Is it that old? Hey, Saw is almost 20 years old. It's 19.
Shut up. Shut up. You are a life ruiner. That's what you are. That'll be the post for tomorrow. Just a reminder.
Just a reminder, everyone.
Yeah.
I want everyone to know that the Crazies is 15 years old. I don't know if it is. Maybe.
Well, there's 2. There's the original and there's the...
Well, I mean, the remake, obviously, but...
No way.
I don't know. Get out the Google.
I'm fucking about to.
What's the name of the husband in the 3rd Saw movie? What is his name?
I can't remember. It's 13 years.
it's something like that. It's something I could easily yell at my TV. I remember because he was just the slowest motherfucker.
I liked that one.
I like the kills in it, like the traps and everything are really cool. But I
I
remember
liked the
just,
storyline for that one.
well, no, that was fine. I just hated that guy. I just hated that husband.
His name was Jeff.
Oh, yep. That's an easy name to yell at a TV.
And the
Jeff!
wife's name was Lynn.
Lynn. Okay. Yeah, that's bringing back now. Jeff and Lynn. Wait a second. Hold the phone. Jeff Lynn, like the lead guitarist and creator of Electric Light Orchestra. Come on now, Saw 3. You thought you were clever. I figured it out. Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure they're just doing what they've always done and giving people very generic pull out of the hat names. But
no, don't ruin this for me.
I'm sorry.
It's clearly a reference to my favorite rock band. They love me so much that they
well,
did
now
that.
You have to go see the new one in theaters.
I do. Shoot. Way to go, Saw franchise. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess the remake of The Crazies came out in 2010, so you're good.
13 years.
It's 13 years. You get...
Was that meant to make me feel better? I was not in high school then.
Oh, I was not in high school. Uh-oh. I mean, me either.
On that note. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours. We'll probably wrap it up. This was fun. I'm glad we made it work. Sorry February didn't work out, but I think this was worth it.
No, I mean, I'm glad you got to support your friend. And plus it makes there were more to talk about, more movies to cover.
I don't think we had a topic for February. We were just going to talk horror in general, I think.
I think so, yeah. So, I mean, at least we had a theme to start. I like kind of having a theme.
Yeah.
We should do like, I don't know. I feel like the live stream would be cool where you like have a series of movies that go up against each other and each one gets to pick which ones out of those.
There's another channel that I follow called Sledgehammer Horror. Right now, their lives they're going through the decades or decades? No. Yes. It's decades. Sorry.
Decades? No.
I was look, it's late. I'm tired. It's decades. So like, for example, they just did the 80s. Their next live is the 90s. You know what I mean? So they're going through and doing it like that. So that's a pretty cool concept too.
Okay.
To do that.
You know, sort of that. I was gonna say just like I feel like just in general, like sort of movies from a subgenre and like match them up. Go like these are the 4 body horror movies for this one. Pick 2, you pick 2. They fight. I don't know. You debate you're like, The Fly goes up against Videodrome. Those are both Cronenbergs, but
I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah. My May one is going to be Scream.
Of course.
I would do it in April, but I already had plans to do something with other people in April. So my May live, but by the time the May one comes, the movie will have been out for 2 months. It'll probably be on physical by then. So
there's less of a chance of an outrage from spoilers.
Jesus Christ.
Get some people some time to go see it. Great. Now I got to watch Scream 6 by May. Oh my goodness.
I just saw it Sunday.
I was gonna say I haven't seen it yet, so I gotta get on it.
You do. You're slacking. You watched all those Leprechaun movies. You ain't seen Scream 6 yet?
I put in the effort this live.
You are appreciated. You're the best. You're the best.
I could have just lied my way through and said I would have seen Scream 6, but I was too busy powering through the Leprechaun franchise. But there was Leprechaun in the Hood with my name on it. They get watched.
Right. Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for doing this. This was fun as always.
It was a good time.
Yeah. Thanks everybody that came and hung out and watched and chatted. That's fun.
Thank y'all.
These like closet Leprechaun fans that I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
anything about.
That we totally just dissed for the first 40 minutes of the live stream and then moved on from the Leprechaun series.
That's exactly what happened. That's
So sorry.
exactly what happened. Cool.
Our
Well,
bad.
thanks again. Once again, all of Radar's links are in the description for this episode. Go follow him, check out his stories. And have a good rest of your week. What is today? Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah. So have a good rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend coming up, and we will see you in the next one.
Woo.